Hey everyone, how's it going? Happy Friday. I am glad to be back doing Facebook Lives. I took a little bit of break there towards the end of the year. Past 2 weeks, just giving myself a little bit of a break to recharge, relax, regroup, spend some time with friends and family, all that fun stuff. Yeah, sorry if you missed me the past 2 weeks, but I am back here. And um, Today, I want to talk a little bit about mindset. It's one of the topics I um, talk about quite frequently, actually, because I think mindset plays a huge role in achieving a lot of our goals and overcoming a lot of obstacles. And this kind of sparked. This topic was kind of sparked by a comment I saw on Facebook, as much of my inspiration for Facebook Lives and blog posts and whatnot come from. But someone was asking, how can they figure out the least amount of calories they can eat to lose weight? And a lot of people came up with great suggestions about going to various different websites and calculating your basal metabolic rate and adding an activity and all these fancy ways of figuring out what maintenance calories is, and then trying to induce a little bit of a caloric deficit to lose a little bit of weight. And those are all suggestions that I would, for the most part, agree with. But what I focused in on this person's question was the last part of the wording they used in their question, and it was, "What is the least amount of calories that I can eat?" And this is kind of a trigger for me because I think so much of today's health and wellness space and the messaging that we get, how do we get healthy? How do we lose weight? How do we get optimal body composition is so much about scarcity and doing the least amount, right? Eating the least amount. Um, how how little like this person was saying, how little calories can I eat? People focus on what are the least amount of times that I can eat. What is the least amount of carbs I can eat? What is the least amount of protein I can eat? What is the least amount of fat I can eat? What is the least amount of sleep I can get? What is the least amount of steps I can get? What is the least amount of exercising I can do? It's all about scarcity. It's all about doing the least amount of stuff to get to your goal. And I dislike that mindset a lot, right? Because it always puts you in this frame of restriction, right? You need to restrict. You need to be restricted, either because what is the least amount of steps or exercising I can do because I'm so time restricted, or what is the least amount of calories I can eat because I want to lose the weight as fast as I possibly can, or what is the least amount of carbohydrates I can eat because I believe that carbohydrates make me fat, right? Or what is the least amount of protein I can eat because I believe that protein, causes cancer, which it doesn't, by the way. Whatever it is, right? There's all this restriction mindset, and it just leads to problems, right? Because there are lower limits for things that are healthy, right? There's the lowest limits of there's lower limits to the amount of movement and exercise you can do. There's lower limits to the amount of calories you can eat, right? What are the least amount of calories I can eat to lose weight? You can eat nothing, right? Just don't eat, right? Fast all the time. You'll lose weight very fast. You'll also get yourself into trouble very fast, right? Very, very fast. Um, and same thing with sleep, right? What is the least amount of sleep you can do? Don't sleep at all. Eventually, your body will make you sleep, and that could have disastrous consequences because what if you fall asleep at the wheel? What if you fall asleep and your child needs your help, right? These types of things, right? Um, in general, though, if we think about abundance, if we switch our mindset from um, restriction over to abundance, and switch our, so let's rephrase this person's question. What are the least amount of calories I can eat to lose weight? What is the most amount of calories you can eat to lose weight? Why don't we think about it that way, right? Because then I'm putting myself in a mindset that says, oh, I can eat all this food and still lose weight, instead of I can eat just this itty bitty amount of food and still lose weight, right? Because chances are you're probably going to over restrict when you talk about the least amount of calories I can eat. Whereas, what are the most amount of calories you can eat? You're probably going to push your upper limits, right? I want to know what the when I work with clients who have weight loss or body composition goals, I try to get them to eat the most amount of calories that they possibly can and still lose the body fat, right? I try to get them to walk as much as they possibly can and still have time for everything else. I try to get them as much exercise as I possibly can in their day, in their week, and still lose body fat and have time for all the other important things in their lives, right? I try to get them as much sleep as possible, right? I try to get them as, I try to maximize everything, right? And I like to tell them, I'm going to have you eat, the most amount of carbs, the most amount of protein, the most amount of fat that you can eat and still be healthy and accomplish your goals, right? Because I want you in an abundance mindset. I don't want this restriction mindset. Because what happens when we're always restricting for days and weeks and months? We break. We just break, right? Because we can't live in restriction forever. We can't live, in this restricted life with restrictions all around us and just be happy, right? We need to be in an abundance mindset. We need to think about things in a way where we are thinking that we're getting the most out of our lives, and the most out of our food, and the most out of our movement, and the most out of our sleep, and the most out of our exercise that we possibly can, and still get to all our other things in life and all our other things, right? So just flipping the switch. It may be that the calories that this person came to when they were thinking about eating the least amount of calories and the calories that they come to when they're thinking about eating the most amount of calories is the same exact number, right? It could be eating the same exact food, but just the shift in mindset away from this is the bottom, right? This is I can't eat any more than this, et cetera, to saying this is the maximum amount of food I can eat. I'm super happy with this. Look at all the food I got. Can have a huge impact in your, the getting to your goal, because you're not thinking about always being restricted, always having things taken away from you, always being, in this mindset where I can't have the cookie, I can't have the drink, I can't have this food, I can't have this many carbs, I can't have a banana, I can't have an apple, I can't have this big slab of ribeye, I can't whatever, right? I can't go and work out and enjoy myself for an hour and a half at the gym because of XYZ reason, right? Think about I can, I am doing the best and the most I possibly can at this moment. And that just changes your outlook on life. It makes it a much more positive outlook, right? Even if everything stays exactly the same, just that shift in things. In general, though, I would think if you start thinking about an abundance mindset, you're going to be doing more. You're going to be moving more. You're going to be exercising more. You're going to be eating more. You're going to be eating more carbohydrates, etc. Right? Because once you start to move away from these restriction mindsets, you actually surprise yourself in that you can do more. You can eat more carbohydrates and still lose weight. You can eat more calories and still lose weight. You can sleep more and still get everything done that you need to get done in the day. You can walk more and still be productive, right? You can carve out some time in your week to go to the gym and spend, however long you want just on working on something you want to work on at the gym, right? Getting better physically. So I encourage you to think about trying to shift your mindset away from this restrictive, minimalist mindset that's promoted everywhere today to a more of an abundance model. And then once you do that, play with hitting your limits, right? Play with hitting that max calorie limit. Play with hitting that max protein limit. Play with hitting that max fat limit. Whatever you've been restricting in your life, carbohydrates, exercise, steps, whatever, that you want to do more of, but you think you can't do more of. Play with doing more of that. And I bet you surprise yourself and that you can do more. So that's what I want to talk about this week. Let me know if you have any questions, comments, feedback. Think it's a good thing, bad thing, etc. Leave comments below. Send me a message. Direct message me here, Instagram, Facebook, wherever. Shoot me an email. Encourage you all to, as I always do, to go to my website, rjbhealth.coach, and sign up for the newsletter. You'll see a button a link at the top to sign up for the newsletter. If you sign up for the newsletter, you'll get all my Facebook Lives, blog posts, etc., all the great stuff that I put out there automatically delivered to your inbox every week. I promise it's not garbage. It's helpful, useful stuff. I like to give away free, useful information, and that you could use to improve your life. So go ahead and do that. Encourage you all to do that. If you are interested in any kind of coaching, kick off the new year, please reach out. You can either, again, reach out to me directly via direct message, or you can go to my website at rjbhealth.coach, and you'll see a link right on the homepage to schedule a discovery call. You'll fill out a little form, and we can talk a little bit more about what your goals are and how I might be able to help. So with that, I'm going to sign off, and I will talk to you all next week. Have a good week.